Hey everyone, we're live from Austin, Texas, backstage at El Mercado for our weekly residency, Will's Dance Night. I'm Will Taylor, jazz violinist out of Austin, Texas, composer, arranger. Every week we come to you live on the internet. This week we have international artists, an artist who moved here from Austria. Well, I'm not yet. Anyway, Ullrich Ellison is my good friend here in Austin, Texas. He moved here on a scholarship. He's going to correct me if I'm wrong. A Fulbright scholarship, UT Austin. We started playing together on weddings and parties, and he's got his full-blown career doing his own music. Travels all over the world, all over the United States. And one thing I love, and many things I love about Ullrich, is he's very well-rounded. If you hear him, you'd think this is a rock guitar player, but this guy can actually read music. He writes music. He's influenced by so many different styles of music and brings that all together in his own way. And I've sang with his band a lot. And so that's very rare. You know, he's the true deal. It's a guy that in the world that we're in right now, and he might even comment on this, a lot of music's being created by computers, okay? And there aren't real human beings. And Ullrich is from the school of people, the old school people that actually play music in a room with human beings. And not that we're totally against all technology, because I came up on people like Pat Metheny who used, you know, a sequencer in there, but it's going over the edge, in my opinion. A lot of pop music is pretty much 90% computer driven, right?
It's so good to be here.
And I'm glad to have Ullrich. So Ullrich is the real deal. We're playing his music for the first set, and then he's going to join us for the ecstatic dance section. And so he came here, is that right, from Austria?
Yeah, I just wanted to say too that you like to use a looper and so.
That's right.
You're not against technology.
That's right, I'm not.
No,
But yeah, what's your opinion on that in terms of like what?
I think we are just all players, you know. So we want to play our instruments just like we want to have a conversation face to face.
Right.
And we don't want to get too distracted with technology, you know, to text on our phones and so. We prefer the direct interaction.
Right.
And there is an art to that that's timeless.
Absolutely.
That's all my heroes from my youth in Austria, Bach, Mozart, you know, Beethoven, all the composers that I was exposed to, and then rock guys too.
Right.
They were all real deal musicians, you know, they had their musical skills, scoring and arranging and everything, and then you use computers, but the skill set,
the performance, of the actual live performance.
Even the composing is a performance, you know, you sit down and you write
true.
And you're not just like copy paste, edit, undo, you know. There is no undos, you know.
Yeah. You know, it's something that one of our heroes, Pat Metheny, I'm sure he's your hero. Well, he said something about, and what you were talking about made me think of this. He was coming off from a performance, and it was something to the effect of, they asked him, you know, how do you prepare for a performance? You know, how do you get in that zone when you're in front of all these people? And he finally said, you know what? It's all a performance. When I walk off the stage, we're still, you know, we're living life. Life is you're being in the now. You're being, and so there, he was trying to basically suggest, and this is a big thing for me, that you not say like, okay, when you're on stage, this is different and special than when you're off. And that was a big aha moment for you. You know, do you agree somewhat? Or
especially in our media-driven world.
Right.
I mean, sometimes to be a figure or being a certain guy, you know.
You mean like a celebrity?
It's all it's almost more important than what's coming out of your music or so. It seems sometimes. That's our dilemma sometimes. It is. Of guys that study for years in summer in a little woodshed, you know, and then you have to come out and okay, how do I look? You know?
I know.
So, I really like this video and just sharing directly with people.
And one of the great things about technology is that we can actually find fans in new ways. So we're at El Mercado backstage. Another thing I was going to ask him, what I like to ask of all my guests is, you know, so that people that are watching this, you know, they get a peek into the artist's mind, you know, what's going on. Right. You know, what for you makes a transcendent performance? What has to happen either on stage? I would say mainly on stage. What has to happen, or what happens where that performance somehow is different from the other 200 performances you're doing a year, and you have that aha moment? Like for me, sometimes I can recognize that when it's effortless, and I feel like everything. It's almost like the music is playing us. Okay, we're not playing the music. We're just. And you find this a lot in.
Well, I think it's a mixture between preparing preparedness and chaos. And you know, it's they have to come together as friends.
Okay.
And
so how do you make that happen?
You can't actually.
Ah, that's the deal, isn't it?
You can't.
That's right.
And that's why you can only set yourself up for a magical moment.
Yep.
But then if it happens or not, that's out beyond our control.
And if it doesn't, you don't get up. You just go next time, right?
Well,
you don't try to have an attachment to it.
No, you can't. I think if you're too attached, then you're failing more easily.
Exactly.
If you're just kind of like today, you know, we barely rehearsed.
Right.
You don't know my tunes. I know your tunes. Almost know. Yeah. So there's no way. I could control the situation. I just have to float and follow, and I don't know what's going to happen, you know.
And still, something could happen.
Yeah, you know, I could say in a way I'm a little worried, but in a positive way, because I don't know what's going to happen. It's actually exciting, you know.
One of the things I like working with people like Ullrich is that he's a guitar player, vocalist package, and so in a way, when we're in a situation like this, it's very comfortable for me because he's basically pulling the band. Like 50% of the sound is his direction. Since he was saying the band isn't that familiar with it, but it's very common for jazz musicians to be in a situation like this and to kind of let go and let things happen, even though it may not be as polished. Other things may happen because it's so fresh. But we're lucky because Ullrich has his tunes down. He's so masterful. And it's just like he's driving the truck. So we basically just hop on.
Well, right? You just lead with what you play, you know. Right. I think that's much better to take initiative and then listen to, of course, but everybody's just waiting for something to happen. You know, I like it like in a conversation, you know, like you ask me something. The question is so powerful, you know. Like you put out the question and you set the pace. Right, and then there's the silence after the question. Right? You might not get an answer.
And that's okay. It's all related. All the things
questions
in life.
And answers. Music too.
So the first tune we're going to play is an original of mine, and then we play. Let's say something about the first tune we're playing.
We're starting out with the tune that we play with the tribe usually. Right. It's called Texas Town Central. It's just a straightforward blues rock instrumental. Okay. And then we'll see what happens after that. All right, shall we do it? Shall we do this? Okay, let's hit the stage. Okay. Thanks to Rachel for running the camera. And welcome to our stage area.
Thank you.